Santa Muerte or Narco Satanism, which means like satanic narco trafficking or members. When they capture you, they're going to torture you. It's going to be a prolonged thing. You're going to be dead in a few days, and they're going to cut off your head and they're going to stick you in some unnamed grave somewhere, or leave you on the side of the road as a message, or hung from a bridge.
This is Dave Franke, and he has seen firsthand the bloody rituals of Santa Muerte, the saint of death that is deified by many in the Mexican cartels. He's seen the rituals, he's been in the rooms where the black masses are held, and he's witnessed the chilling grip that Santa Muerte has on Mexico's most dangerous people.
You'll have people in Mexico that will kill somebody, and they'll have defibrillators there to try to bring them back to life so they can kill them more than once.
You've seen this?
Yeah.
He's seen how faith can be twisted into a weapon, how priests can be used to bless assassins, and how cartels use death itself as a way to control their soldiers and terrify their enemies. And today, Dave talks about how the cartels use priests and occult rituals to tighten their grip on power, the gruesome acts carried out in the name of Santa Muerte, and why this figure's influence stretches from cartel leaders to everyday Catholics. This isn't just crime, this is religion weaponized. So, sit back, relax, and welcome to Canada.
Dave Franke, how are you?
Good, Mark Gagnon.
Yes, sir.
Good to be here, man.
We're here in your basement. I'm really excited to talk today about a very specific topic that I've been fascinated by, and I think you're the guy to talk about it with. You've had a fascinating career serving as a bodyguard for a Mexican general,
yeah,
and spent several years protecting him, getting in firefights with the cartels. And there's a specific subset of sort of cartel occultism that I've come across. It's a very interesting sort of mix of like Catholicism meets like Santeria, that meets like sort of like ritual elements that goes along with sort of the morality of these cartels. So I'm curious from your perspective as someone that's dealt closely with these cartels, have you witnessed or even heard any type of ritual elements or sort of almost satanic elements that goes along with the way that these cartels operate?
Well, definitely. I mean, right off the top, a lot of times there'll be old people, or they don't even have to be old, but like the cartels, there's one story that comes to mind right off the bat where they'll kidnap these people and torture them in their house. I'm going to stay on topic because I could really go off on a rant about what the Bible or what spirituality and religion in general does for most humans. The threat of a hereafter or a punishment hereafter keeps a lot of people in check because they're afraid of paying some type of eternal punishment or damnation.
Right. Going to hell keeps people, focused.
Going to hell keeps people in check. So in Mexico, the cartel, because of Santa Muerte or Narco Satanism, which means like satanic narco trafficking or members, they don't have this same type of inhibition. So they'll do stuff like dismember bodies, or they'll torture people, have them pull out all of their money and rob them routinely, or take over their houses, force them to sell their houses. And by sell, I mean give away to people. But there's one story in particular where we went in and they had kept this guy all week, torturing him and beating him, and they burned his body in 2 different places in this house. And it kind of hits home because it was very close to where I lived. And they burn when you burn a body, it melts their fat. So I don't know if we've all fried bacon or something like that, but when you burn a body, the fat will start melting on the floor. And so you can slip in it actually when you're burning a body enough. And these people, when they have these rituals, they'll do all types of dismemberment, peeling people's faces off. The one person I'm talking about was an older gentleman, and they had tortured him all week, pulling the daily limit out of his ATM, so robbing him periodically. And it's really a cruel thing to go through because a lot of times when you think about crime or whatever, it's something that happens and it's over. You'll get robbed. They'll break into your house. In Mexico, they'll sit there and they'll prolong it, and they'll sit there and torture these people as they go along. And there's no like of inhibition, like, hey, my God doesn't want me doing this. Santa Muerte is so prevalent in Mexico because it's such a Catholic country that they're so used to having just a church and saints and these things in their life that they've found this saint and mixed it with Santeria and different elements of Satanism, like combined it to create their own patron saint.
Right. It's basically the patron saint of death.
It is the patron. That's exactly what it is. One of the things that we would do, I mean, to finish with cleaning it just really hits you right in the stomach when you try to remain humane. Because when you're going after these people, there's a certain portion of you that just converts to being just, I don't want to say it because I don't like to try to upplay it that much, but you become savage and brutal to the point to where you're prepared to confront whatever the same level of savagery and brutality that they're going to put your way. What do you mean, Dave? Like if you see any of the pictures with my tack vest, we have one round that we'll keep in our tack vest. Well, you don't see that on American Cops. Yeah, well, on American Cops, you're not going to be captured and tortured for a month or whatever, and they're not going to cut off your head when they capture you, and they will. There's
Wait, so what do you keep in the vest?
I keep a round.
One round.
One round.
And that's for?
That's to take off my own dome because they're going to torture you and cut off your head. That's how you're going to end, and it's going to be painful. You're going to give up where your own family members live. You know, I got a wife that I love dearly, man, and you're going to give up your own generals. You're going to give up your own movements. Everything that you know, they're going to get out of you. And I know that this episode's on Narco Satanism and Santeria and the Santa Muerte. But one of the things that I want to say is when you put on a uniform, it's very easy to be that guy that, oh, I'm tough, I'm the hero, we're going to win every single time. But that only happens when you're not confronting an enemy that has been so over the top, dedicated to fighting you every day on your own home turf to where they can get you when you're in uniform or not. And when they capture you, they're going to torture you. It's going to be a prolonged thing. And you're going to convert from being the tough guy, hero, winner that wins every time to you're the loser and you're going to be dead in a few days. And they're going to cut off your head and they're going to stick you in some unnamed grave somewhere or leave you on the side of the road as a message or hung from a bridge.
So this guy that was being tortured and they were taking out his ATM and maxing it out every day. What is the purpose of the torture? Like they already have everything that they want from him.
They're torturing it. That's just it. There's no moral inhibitions when you live with something, because this episode's on Narco Satanism and Santa Muerte. I'm not a Catholic. My wife's Catholic. I'm a Christian. I believe very strongly in the hereafter. I believe, for my own personal case, no disrespect to anybody else, but I believe in Jesus, and I believe that it's something that has to play out in my day-to-day life because lip service is just that. Catholics, same thing. They go to a church, they go to mass, they have to behave a certain way. Mormons, I know a lot about this church too. I've read the Book of Mormon several times. They pay their it's not just words. There's action behind it. And a big proponent of that is the fact that we are admonished to do or behave a certain way. With Santa Muerte, they're not at all held to the same type of moral code that we are. In fact, they're kind of encouraged by themselves and their own saint, the saint of death. They're glorifying death. And so when they're torturing people, they're doing it just because they're accustomed to it, because that's just the way they do things on a daily basis.